Hello, my name is Lucas, this is Bit of Lit, and I'm here to talk about some books I've been reading in the past couple weeks, which I haven't been reading that much. I mostly read these a couple weeks ago and then just didn't feel like making a video, didn't feel like reading as well. Maybe I burned myself out making too many videos at one time. I don't know exactly, but I'm back and I'm happy to be reading again, so here we are. I have not finished the book yet, but I read the second book in Moment in Peking, which is a wonderful book by a Chinese author who wrote it in English when he was in America. And he, this part, Tragedy in the Garden, part 2, focuses on what happens with this family, these families, after the Qing dynasty falls, and with technology advancing, the whole culture shifting, foreign presence becoming ubiquitous, even more ubiquitous, I suppose. It's really got a lot of really interesting political implications for this family. I found myself more interested in the historical aspects than the familial aspects, even though they are in some ways intertwined in the story. But yeah, there were a few times where we were, reading about the family, and I'm thinking, yeah, but tell me more about what's happening on a larger scale. But what's happening on the not minor scale, on the smaller scale within the family, is showing sort of the changes in the makeup, I suppose, of the country. I guess I'm assuming that's what the author's trying to get at. And I really enjoyed this book. Would not get this copy because it has some typos, but looking forward to finishing The Song of Autumn, which is the third book in the thing. And I'm hoping that it will, just like the other two parts, be fantastic. I started this book called Trash, which I have to read for work. And it's all right so far. It's a young adult book. Don't know too much about it. It's about this kid who lives in a dump site and finds a bag that the police are looking for. And that's all I really know about it. It's kind of interesting so far. Anyway, another book that I read thinking that I needed to pick another book for a special class that I have, and I thought I would pick Animorphs, The Invasion, the first one, by K.A. Applegate. Turns out I didn't need it. It's been a very long time since I read Animorphs. I was happy to read it, and then I found out that actually I can't use the book, so I could have spent that time reading trash, but not bad books, just... This book is interesting. I really like this book. I can't stand the narrator in some ways because it's so personal and conversational, I suppose is what I want to say. Really annoys me when the narrator is too conversational, but he's a young boy. He's got some friends. They see an alien that comes down to Earth and warns them of an alien invasion of another aggressive species that wants to enslave all of humanity so that they can send out humanity to enslave more species. And these young children are given the abilities to change into any animal as long as they focus and concentrate and all that kind of thing, and touch them. They can turn into any animal, and this is how they will stop the aliens from invading and enslaving all of humanity. And this kid is the leader, Jake. He's the leader of this band of merry fellows, though he's lacking in confidence. He's very self-conscious. He feels he doesn't amount to much because his brother was a very big star on the middle school basketball team and is now a big star on the high school basketball team, and doesn't seem to get as much love from his parents openly as they do because they're very supportive. He doesn't seem to have as many hobbies, at least, for them to be supportive of. But yeah, he's kind of an interesting guy because, he's got that dynamic. He looks up to his brother, wants to be like his brother, and all that. But then his brother might be one of the infected who wants to kill him because he has this power to stop them by turning into any animal he so chooses, which he can only do for 2 hours, because if he does any longer, or any of them, if they do for any longer than 2 hours, they will stay in that state, which has also some very interesting implications, I suppose. Dramatically speaking, it's very interesting idea. And I just love this part where one of his best friends, who I believe also is, if I remember right, it's been a while, the one who does end up staying as a hawk for too long and is stuck as a hawk. And I really like that part. This is a cool book, is what I'm saying. I'm really sad I won't be teaching it, but who knows? Maybe a summer workshop or whatever, winter. Anyway, his friend is trying to convince him that you are the leader, and he's, no, I'm not a leader. And he tries to convince him, saying like, you're the one who needs to lead us to stop these aliens from enslaving all of humanity. We need you. And I just, they're like teenagers who can turn into animals, but or they're like preteens or something. And I just find it really funny to imagine someone who's 12 to 15 with the weight of the world on his shoulders, or weight of the world on their shoulders. It's a very funny idea to me, even though it's quite serious, and a pretty good book, I would say. The other thing I read was for Shakespeare. I read Othello by William Shakespeare. And this grinded me to a halt because it is an incredibly boring play. I hate it. Iago is kind of an interesting guy, but he's just so slimy. And also, Othello really just switches his mindset like that, which I think says a lot about Othello himself. The last act is interesting, I suppose, because it's where all the action is and all the death and all that. But I just, I know he's been manipulated. I just feel like I didn't like the play. I thought it was boring. It didn't move me in any way. There was some clever wordplay and in many ways, sure, the language of it and the playfulness of what they're saying and the sharpness of what people are saying in the play was well written. I thought the dialogue was quite good, but I just didn't care about any of the. I didn't believe them really, especially Othello. Iago, I suppose, has his motivation, so in some ways I feel unclear about him, which is not bad. But there's some elements where it's still like, yeah, this guy, Shakespeare, work of art, genius in some ways. But I just feel like, how much did he really love Desdemona? Really? When he's just listening and seeing, but listening primarily to circumstantial evidence from a sneaky, slimy creep who he knows pretty well. I don't know. Disappointing play. I mean, you know, there are reasons why he falls for it, I suppose. But I don't like Othello. I can't be convinced. Maybe I'll give it another shot later, because there were some admirable things about it. You know, the way they talk to each other. Iago is quite funny. Othello, I just don't care about Othello mainly. Like, come on. How much did you really love your wife? You just hear some things, see some things. Oh, but I saw he had the handkerchief or tissue or whatever. That means I have to kill you. Oh, well then, if that's all, put the knife right through my heart, please. Ow. I don't know what I'm saying. Bye.